I just need a cover page basically. I didn't put a page on there, on the front end of my top 5 list. Let's see, make sure I got them on my 5. Don't be shy. Let the guesses flow, guys. If you guess right, I could take a shot. You could contribute to my alcoholism. So don't be scared. Just whatever you think might be on the list. We'll talk about it once we get to it. Keep them guesses coming, guys. Don't be shy. If you have a guess, just throw it out into the chat. You might contribute to my alcoholism. And who doesn't want to be part of that? Alright. And make sure everything looks good. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oops. Wow. Setting up. Sorry, guys. I was doing some research. I was adding pictures to one of my slides. But keep the guesses coming. Don't keep it coming, guys. All right, I think I'm good. I think we're good with the think we're good. So, all right, let me see. Let me look at the list. Ooh, I like some of these guesses. These are some good guesses, guys. All right. Let's jump into my list. The Odio one is pretty good. I didn't even think of that one. I think if I would have thought of it, I would have added it. So, I'm just gonna guess every villain ever. I will say you guys got one of my top 5. So that's actually pretty good because this is it's a very open-ended question. Like, what do you consider terrifying? Right? I don't have any outside looking in. I couldn't think of any. So I'm gonna go with the first one that when I thought of like a boss that gave me stress when I was a little kid, when I was first getting into RPGs, my first real foray into RPGs was Final Fantasy II on the Super Nintendo, right? And I remember the one boss that gave me fits when I was a little kid. So number 5 is Rubicante from Final Fantasy II. Leg, yes. I remember having so much trouble with this boss when I was a little kid. So when this top 5 came in, like, just, my mind went back to this moment because the first time that I was ever able to beat Rubicante, I was elated. He would wipe my party with his flares, and he would do all sorts of crazy damage. Like, look at these guys. Like, look at this group trying to fight Rubicant. Like, they don't have any chance of surviving any of his attacks. Like, Cecil has 600 hit points? How did he not fight anyone on Mount Ordeals? How did he show up? How does Edge have the most hit points of the bunch? Like, this doesn't... Right, he has 200 hit points? This group is destined to die. Like, that's just what is going on there. Anyways, the fight's pretty cool. He is the final of the 4 fiends. He gives you a chance to catch your breath after going through the Tower of Babel. He gives you all your life and magic back. So it's a fair fight. But he still wrecks you. I mean, nowadays he's a pushover because I'm not a little kid, and preparation and knowing what to do and not attack when his cloak is, his cloak is surrounding him. So, nowadays he's not a thing. But when I was a little kid, terrified me. Hey, Chaos. Happy Friday. We're doing my top 5 most terrifying bosses and enemies in RPGs. Don't recognize this guy? Don't think I ever got this far? Oh, wow. Okay. So yeah, this is number 5. This was a throwback to my childhood. I was definitely very happy to get by him. Number 4, also a childhood nod, because if you ever ran into these monsters in a Zelda game, you would know that the Wall Masters are terrifying. So you run into these guys, and if they touch you, they send you right back to the beginning of the dungeon. And it's just annoying. Like, it's an inconvenience, but it's also kind of stressful. Oh my God. These things were stressful. So yeah, you guys understand these things, they're so handy. Yes, they're very hands-on. But yeah, these guys another one that when I was thinking of enemies that were annoying and that, not terrified me, but they just, whenever you were in a dungeon that had these enemies, you always had to be on the lookout. So the Wall Master with the hand, and they would come down and they would grab you. They were very annoying. to say the least. So they made my list just by, you know, you always had to be on edge when you were in a dungeon with these guys, because if you looked away from the screen, they could have grabbed you and then sent you right back to the beginning, and you'd have to start all over, and no one wants to do that. So they make the Wallmaster little hand grabby thing from the Zelda series makes my list at number 4. Number 3 is Red Rum from Xenogears. Do y'all remember this guy? This was actually a really good, terrifying boss. I forget which town you're in, but you just recruit Rico, and there's like a series of murders in the town, and you actually have to go into did you say Xenogears? You didn't but yeah, you go into the sewers, and you're trying to find the murderer, but it actually ends up being that the murderer is stalking you. And so, like, it's this really cool sequence where you're walking around the sewers, and then it changes the perspective, and it goes into a first person view of the killer as he slowly creeps up to you guys. So I thought that was really well done. They don't do it in the game ever again. It's a one and done kind of first person view from the enemy. And I always thought that was such a cool like moment, because you're in the sewers. Obviously the sewers are kind of dark and dreary, but then, you know, you're hunting a murderer, and then all of a sudden the murderer is hunting you. And then it just swoops in, and it's this like weird fleshy bone creature thing. And yeah, it's really well done. I love it. I thought of this one. It's definitely a unique scenario for sure. So Red Rum from Xenogears makes the list just by the atmosphere of it all. It's really well done. Number 2, the most annoying boss fight I've ever had to deal with. It's Ornstein and Smog from Dark Souls. Fuck these guys. Fuck them. These guys suck. It's hard. Dark Souls is hard enough when you have to fight one-on-one on a boss. But then they put 2 stupid guys at the same time. Easy? Yeah, I'm just bad at the game, maybe. But yo, like the first time I had to fight these guys, it didn't go well. The big guy's jump can be... Get good, Scar. Yo, I want to see you guys take these guys on and see if you don't die the first time you try to fight them. I want to see you beat them first try. I want to see it. I want to see it. The bosses were the highlight of Dark Souls, except these guys. Yo, fighting 2 bosses at once. What you had to do was you had to separate them. So there was a big arena, and you had to somehow get the 2 bosses to separate. So I think that there's pillars, and you can kind of pin one behind a pillar, but then when you beat one of them, guess what? The other one gets harder, and it's just a big stupid fight. I mean, yeah, you know, maybe you can just be good and dodge and stuff. You have another first try for Dark Souls? This is true. Yeah, it's never going to be like the first time. But yeah, these guys are hard. It's a 2-on-1 fight, so it's always going to be a little bit harder than it has to be. But the good news is you can summon someone to even the odds, and I definitely did that the first time I played this because I couldn't get by these guys. I couldn't do it. I couldn't beat them. So I needed help. And I summoned someone, and they helped me. It is what it is. I needed help. These guys, they were unfair. It sucked the fun out of the game. All the single player, like the one-on-one bosses, you know, I died. Sure, I died, but I was able to get through them eventually. Yo, those archers with the huge bows and arrows, yeah, and they would just shoot you off the rooftops. Yo, those guys sucked. That's good. I never summoned because I didn't know how. I think you had to turn on a function first to like enable online play or something, and then you would see people's like insignia on the floor, and then you could summon them. But that was the only way that the first time I ever played this game, that was the only way that I was able to get through this guy. Without someone's help, I would have never beat these guys the first time through. On subsequent playthroughs, I did end up beating them, but yeah, it's just so annoying because you can just be fighting one, and then all of a sudden, oh, the other one comes in and swoops you down and takes away half your health. Screw that. So Ornstein and Smog from Dark Souls definitely make the list because it a little bit of my soul dies when I get to this point in the game and I'm like, oh, I gotta fight these guys again, don't I? There's a lot of things I didn't know about the game. And number one, you guys, someone had mentioned it, one of the most terrifying boss fights of all time. It's the battle with Luca Blight in Suikoden 2. Ah, this is such a good fight. This is such a good fight. There's a lot of emotions going on in this fight right here. First of all, Luca is a badass. Luca's one of the coolest villains in all of RPGdom. He's pretty much just purely evil. Is Luca not human? No, Luca is human. He's like the Batman level of physical fitness. He's like at the peak of human evolution. So cheers on getting Luca Blight correct. But he's so evil, even his army turns on him. And he gets ambushed by his army, and then the Liberation Army comes in and tries to kill Luca. It takes 3 squads of your best fighters to weaken him. And even then, even at a weakened state, Luca, with arrows riddled in his armor, is still able to fight Ryu one-on-one in a battle. And, like, you know, maybe nowadays, you know, it's not so intimidating, but this feels like a final boss fight. And Luca is just all of the evil from the Highland, and Ryu is the one person that's standing in his way. And this is kind of one of the coolest fights because Ryu's like, yo, I'm gonna take this guy on, you know, one-on-one. And he actually bests Luca, and obviously Luca's at a bit of a disadvantage because, you know, he's been ambushed, he's been riddled with arrows, he's had multiple rounds of enemies just laying waste to him, and he's still putting up a fight against the Liberation Army leader. He's got one of the coolest death lines of all time. He goes, you know, it took hundreds to kill me, but I killed humans by the thousands. Like, yo, baller. But it's still a cool fight because if you die, who's to say, what happens to the Liberation Army? Maybe Luca survives that whole ordeal. He loses and dead. His mom was, oh yeah. His mom was raped in front of him while his dad cowered in the corner and just let it happen. So that's why Luca always had like a hatred for his father, because his dad did not stick up for his mom during that scene. Yeah. Oh yeah. Luca's crazy because of his parents, or his mom, his dad at least. He's definitely and the people that raped his mom were from the Joustin area, so that's why he harbors that hatred towards them, for them, and he also can't stand his dad and pretty much offs him too. Yeah, man, Suikoden does go hard. But anyways, Luca Blight, terrifying boss fight. It's such a good moment because there's so much pressure involved with it, like you've got to beat this guy. Like if you don't beat him, there's just, the war is over. Like even if Luca dies, like there's just so much at stake. Yeah, Suikoden doesn't mess around. It's such a good fight scene. I love it so much. But it is terrifying because, like, look at this guy. Yo, homeboy is fighting with just arrows all over him. He's fighting like Boromir in Lord of the Rings. He's just won't die. he's just won't die. Oh man. But it takes his army betraying him, an ambush by your army, and then your main character finally knocking him down once and for all to finally fell the evil Luca Blight. But it is such a cool scene, and that's why he makes the number one on my most terrifying boss and monster list. So you've got let's a little recap. Just the anti-heroic version. You've got Luca at 1, you've got Ornstein and Smog at 2, you've got Red Rum at 3, you've got the Wallmaster at 4, and you got Rubicante at 5. So those are my favorite, most terrifying monster bosses and RPGs, guys. And let's see what we'll do next week. He's very much like Guts. He's like an evil Guts. If Guts actually let the Berserker armor turn him. So let's see what we'll do next week. Top 5 casinos. Ooh, the degenerate gambler in me loves this one. All right, if Guts were an actual villain, yeah. Don't mention the moment that Guts, bit Casca's boobs and almost raped her. That was him at his weakest moment, okay? But anyways, Berserk goes hard. Berserk goes real hard. Hey, No Bake, I need you to stop spoiling, okay? We'll see. We'll get to this next week, all right? Oh man, so yeah, top 5 casinos will be a fun one for sure. Let's